Hello, you guys. Welcome. My name is Greg, and welcome to Stir Up the Paint. We're gonna have a good time, a great time, an incredible time tonight. So welcome, welcome, welcome. This is our free virtual Tuesday event. We do one every Tuesday. All right. So every Tuesday you can follow along with me, and I will be painting a new painting each week, and we'll have some fun, and we'll paint together, sip a little wine together, and enjoy. All right, tonight we are painting Romance in the Rain. Ooh, sexy. All right, here we are. Here's the couple. They're in Paris, right? They're in Paris, and they're under the umbrella in the rain. Romantic, beautiful, sexy, getting ready maybe to look a little smoochy. Oh, it looks like. Okay, lots of beautiful colors. I have antique clocks, so they're like, oh, must be 5 o'clock hour, like bing, bing, bing. All right, so lots of colors. We're going to be learning how to mix tons and tons of colors here. We'll be mixing everything. And on this painting, I did the original a little bit darker on this side, but I'm thinking I want to blend a little bit more light from here, more oranges and things that are on the end, and put it out here. Yeah, this is just a little bit dark for me. So we're going to be going all the way down the canvas with these nice long striations and brush strokes. And then we're going to go across when it's wet at the end. You're going to get this nice reflective quality. It's going to be really cool. And the very, very end, when it's all dry, we'll do the couple. The couple is very simple, you guys. It's a simple, simple silhouette. The guy's just a little taller than she is. Her head's a little bit tilted into his. That's about it. Rounded shoulder here, right? A little bit of the dress. The legs, not a lot of detail there. We don't need a lot of detail. It's very, very impressionist. All right. That is Romance in the Rain. In Paris, the most beautiful city in the world. I think it is. I love Paris. All right. So let's go over a few of the supplies we have, right? And then we're going to jump into painting. All right. First off, I have a 12 by 16 canvas, right? Now some of you might have a bigger canvas. You might have a 16 by 20. Totally fine. Might take you a little bit longer to paint it. So you can always put comments in the comment bar and let me know, hey Greg, you know, my canvas is a little bit bigger. Can you slow down a little bit? Also, you guys, this is, you know, being taped, and I have a YouTube channel. So, and this will also be on our Stir It Up Facebook page. So if you want to go back and look at certain parts or things, more than welcome to do so. All right, so I have my 12 by 16 canvas. I have 3 magical brushes. Look at how old my brushes are. I love, people complain sometimes at live events, they're like, oh, the brushes look really used. The used brushes, they're the best. I love my brushes. I do. And I've been using this one for years, and I want to get another one, but every time I go to get one, I feel like, nope. I don't know, I'm the same way with baseball caps. Like, I just keep my baseball caps until they like shred into little pieces, and then I was on a cruise once in Mexico, and my baseball cap flew off, and I started crying. I was really sad. This baseball cap had been all over the world with me. The captain of the boat in Mexico, in Puerto Vallarta, he turned around, and he fished my baseball cap out of the water, and I'm like crying like a little baby. Yeah, I'm super macho, you can tell. Anyway, all right. So, big brush, right? Flat tip, big brush. Round brush, right? And then a detail brush. So a little bit different. Small, round, and then I'll say detail brush, right? So flat tip brush, small, round, detail brush. The detail brush is really good when we start to do the silhouettes and the umbrella too. All right. I have a towel, so when I mix, washing up my brushes, I'm mixing paint or whatever, I can just, you know, swatch off into my towel. This is my painting cup, right? And I have, you can see I've been using it forever and ever. Oh, hey Deb, welcome, welcome, glad you could join us. So this, I won't mistake, right? I won't mistake drinking out of it, but some people do. So what you can do is you can just put your brushes in your paint cup, and that might deter you from drinking out of it. I know it helps me. I have, at events, I have been walking around, I have drunk out of my cup, and I have like blue teeth, and I thought people were like, you know, having fun with me, and I was making jokes, and I thought they were laughing with me, and they were laughing at me. Yeah, because I had blue teeth. I look like a, you know, like a vampire. Anyway, so you don't want to have blue teeth, so just put your brushes in your paint water, and that will deter you, hopefully, from drinking out of it, because when you try to drink out of it, the brushes will go up your nose. I don't think that feels very good, right? Okay, cool. We have paint. Yes, we are going to need paint. It's called painting, right? All right. We have white, blue, red, yellow, and black. Formal names: titanium white, Mars black, chrome yellow, bright red, and like a little smudge of yellow in my red already. And I'm gonna make orange. It's all good. And phthalo blue, P-H-T-H-A-L-O. They pronounce it Phthalo Blue. I don't know who made this thing up. I don't know who spelled this thing. I don't know where it comes from. But I think it's so difficult to spell. I went to the store up on Capitol Hill. It was called Dick Blick's. And I'm like, walk up and I'm like, I need some Phthalo Blue. She's like, Phthalo? And I'm like, yeah, Phthalo. She's like, do you mean phthalo? And I'm like, oh, is it pronounced phthalo? And you go up to the bottle, it's P-H-T-H-A-L-O. How is that phthalo blue? Like, get rid of the P-H and the whole thing. I don't understand. Anyway, phthalo blue is really good, you guys, for getting a nice turquoise, though. So you know, not a lot of turquoise in this painting. But if you want to do your own thing, and you want to do your own color palette, and you want to go rogue and explore and have fun, do that. That's what it's all about. That's how we stir it up, you guys. It's all about you. It's not about me and what I'm doing, okay? It's about you. You want to do something different? Do something different. I'm going to show you technique. I'm going to show you brush strokes, and then you can apply it the way you'd like to apply it. All right, cool. So I have mixing plates. Obviously, there's no room on my plate here to mix, right? Like, impossible. It is an impossibility. So I have mixing plates. These are my mixing plates. When I get hot, I can fan myself off. It was like super windy today, so I'm not hot. It is definitely fall weather here. This morning it was pouring down rain like Noah's Ark. And now it's sunny, and I don't understand the weather in Seattle at all. I'm not gonna try. But all the leaves have blown off the trees like in front of me, and I got to enjoy the changing of the leaves for like 5 minutes. Thanks. Anyway, okay. Mixing plates. These are my mixing plates. I'm going to mix my paint on those plates. Okay. Anything you add white to gets lighter. So white to red would become pink. White to blue is baby blue. Anything you add white to gets lighter. Okay. So red and yellow is orange. Red and yellow is orange. Less red, more yellow. Get a nice orange. Okay. And I'm playing, by the way, I'm playing Echo Smith in the background. Echo Smith radio. Super, super fun. Hopefully it won't compete too much. I have a microphone here. It's pretty loud, so you guys can hear me. All right, so red and yellow is orange. Blue and red is purple. Purple. And we add white to that, we get a nice lavender, okay? Blue and yellow is green. We don't really have any green in this painting, but if you wanted green, you could add green. If you want it all green, you can make it all green. If you want to paint just a green painting, make it green. Blue and yellow. But a little bit of blue, more yellow, you get a nice green. Okay? Those are the main colors that we'll be mixing. Lots of oranges, lots of purples. We'll be adding a lot more red into our blue to get a really nice purple. And red purples, like red oranges, light oranges, like really, really, really cool. And I think the best way to do this, you guys, is just to really lay down one color in different colors. Meaning, we're going to go and we're going to lay down purple, right? So we're going to put purple in this. We're going to add a little bit of red to the blue. We're going to get more of a red purple. We're going to add some white to that purple. We're going to get a light lavender. And we're going to go all the way down. I'm going to go halfway down. I'm going to flip my canvas over. And I'm going to finish. And then we're going to continue to add highlights. We're going to continue to do stuff. And when we're done, when it's still wet, we're going to go across like this. And we're going to make that horizon line where they're standing, this part. And it's going to be really cool, and you're going to get all these mix of color in there. All right. Yeah, Deb, and the YouTube channel, Deb, it's Stir Up the Paint. So you can just in the search bar go Stir Up the Paint, and there's like 6 or 7 videos already there. Super fun. And this will be loaded up to YouTube as well. All right, if you guys have any questions, let me know. If you don't have any questions, then we're going to start. But before I start, I like to do a little toast. So, love and light to you guys. I know these are challenging times. Try to smile through it. Little acts of kindness when people are struggling and having a hard time is a really great way to start your day. Whether you open the door for someone or buy someone a lunch at, I don't know, Costco or your local grocery store, or, you know, help someone out or whatever. Help someone across the street. I don't really care. But an act of kindness is a great way to start your day out and show someone that you care. The other day I was telling a story. Let me lower the music just a minute. I was telling a story about something that I did. I was walking with a friend, and a woman was overhearing my conversation, and I had done something nice, and the woman, she turned around, and she was walking her dog, and she said, "I couldn't help but overhear your conversation, and I just don't hear a lot of nice things, and you're so nice." And she started crying right in front of me, and like made my whole day, like, it was really early in the morning, and I thought, wow, people really are suffering. You know, they really do need to hear and see kindness. The news is so down and dark, and people really want to be uplifted. So let's uplift them, okay? Let's uplift ourselves here in a no judgment, critique-free zone where we can enjoy. And then as we get to enjoy this as a gift to ourselves, free gift to ourselves, let's give a free gift to someone else and pay it forward. All right? That's my toast tonight. So, this is good. Whoa. This is really good. Okay. Let's start painting. All right, we're going to take our big brush. Remember, purple. Purple's very, very dark. But we're going to be doing a lot of different things in here. So we're going to mix blue and red first. Remember, more red than blue. More red than blue, you get a nice purple. If you don't mix enough red in there, you really don't get purple. It's more like a bluish red. So we're going to start out with purple first. Right? We're just going to go crazy with it. We're going to go crazy with it. Just going to go like this, start at the top, go like this, come down. Right? Other side. Right? Just brush strokes vertically. We're just going to go crazy with it. Just go crazy with it. And when you run out of paint, rather than go back and get more paint, right, the same color, grab a little white. Grab a little white. Grabbed a little white on my brush here. And I'm going to go into this that I just put in. I'm going to go over it. And I'm going to blend. So I'm going into the other color that I laid down. Blending means mixing colors together, right? So now look, now I've got this really cool lavender. I've still got that dark purple in there, right? You're starting to get a really cool blend, just with vertical brush strokes. You're going to get some really nice texture. You guys are really going to like it. Okay, I can go back into that purple that I already had, right? That purple that I already had, and I can lay some more of that down. I can grab some white, right? I can grab some white, and I can blend into that. I'm leaving some of the purple there, right? But you can see the striations, you can see all the different color. It's really cool, right? Now, what would happen if I took some red and I mixed that into that purple that I already had, and I get more of a red purple? Right? Okay. I'm going to put that in. And I'm going to brush that down and continue brushing down. Look what that looks like. Right in here, look. Cool. The effect that we're achieving here, you guys, is basically that, you know, it's a downpour, it's raining, and all these colors, all these beautiful colors. All right. So I'm going to take some more of that red, purple that I made, right? Really cool. Now I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to start at the top. That's right. I'm going to flip it over and start at the top. And again, we're just going to go in with purples. So I'm going to take my blue and my red again. I'm going to mix another purple, that dark purple. And I'm going to do the same thing at the top, you guys. Same thing. Just taking the purple, coming down, right? See how dark it is? Really, really dark, right? But that's okay, because I'm going to add white to it, and I'm going to add red to it. I'm going to the other side. And eventually it's going to connect with, you know, my other colors here that I've already laid down. See how I can spread it out? It's okay that it's not super thick. It's okay that it's not super thick. Some parts are thicker than others. It's okay. All right. This part's fun. I really like laying down color and seeing what it can do. People that have never painted before and they do this, they get excited because it's unpredictable and it's fun. Our Costco has the best wine buyer in Seattle. OMG, it's so good. Wow. This is Saldo. It's the same maker of the wine Prisoner, and it's really, really good. Okay, so if I added more red to that purple, right? Added more red to the purple. And start layering that in. Again, just creating some striation, more of a red purple there. It's pretty neat. Good. Put that up just a little bit. My music got quiet because I was telling you that story. That story really touched my heart, though. That woman was in tears at like 8:30 in the morning. That was so kind. I was like, wow. I really... Oh! And I saw The Octopus Teacher last night on Netflix. You gotta watch it. It's super cool. A guy's relationship with an octopus, it sounds weird. It was beautifully shot. It was amazing how beautiful it was. I cried. I know it sounds like I cry a lot. Maybe I do cry a lot. I'm pretty sensitive, but it got me like right here. The octopus reached out and like felt his skin like for the first, I don't know. It sounds weird. You have to see it. If I describe it, it's gonna sound creepy. But anyway. All right, so more of this. Now let's grab some white. Let's grab some white and let's blend in all these colors. Okay, let's blend it all in, right? Grab some white. See how everything starts to lighten up? But the colors carry down. Everything carries in there. Look at how cool that is. You know what? You could probably see that in the museum just like that, right? And someone would be charging like $5 million for it. Don't you see there's ghosts in there? It's amazing. It's like, I don't know, I saw a banana thing. A banana taped to a wall was $100,000 or something and someone bought it. Yeah, I don't really understand. I'm gonna turn my light down a little bit. It's a little bright there. I think that's a little bit better. There we go. I was a little, starting to glow like an angel, and I'm not an angel. All right, so again, spreading that paint down, spreading that paint down. Let's go and grab a little white. And we're gonna start filling in everything now. Just filling in everything, blending all the way from the top to the bottom, right? Blending, blending. I'm really filling in everything now. I'm not going really heavy with the paint. Not going really heavy with the paint. These are just different color purples. That's all I did. Those are all different color purples. And all we're going to do here is we're going to add some oranges into it. We're going to add a little bit of darker color. And remember, the oranges and the yellows are really cool. But keep in mind, you guys, that in the center, to make that black and the silhouette really pop, you want it to be light in there. So there's lots of light oranges and lots of light color. My darker colors are outside. They live outside here. In the center is where it's all lit up and nice and bright. Okay. You know, it's okay that I have a little bit of white bleeding through. I'm going to add more layers onto this, so I have a little bit of white bleeding through. But it looks cool. All right. Well, let's let you guys get a little bit caught up. Before we move on, we're going to add some oranges and some lighter color. And in the center, we're going to make sure we really put a lot of that light in there so that, you know, eventually she pops. All right, cool. This is my artwork also in the background, you guys. This guy behind me, it's a portrait, and then this guy, this is a big 5-foot painting of a boat. The Venice scene that I did. It's kind of fun. All right. Perfect. All right, remember, if you guys have any questions, just to type them in the comment bar there, and I will talk out loud and discuss them, and we will go from there. All right, so while it's wet, you guys, we still want to blend in some more color. Let's put our oranges in, all right? Let's put our oranges in. Like this. All right, oranges. All right, here we go. Red and yellow make orange. A little bit of red and more yellow. I did rinse off my brush in my water, right? I did rinse off my brush in my water because I had purple in there, right? Now I'm going to get a pretty dark, orange. That's okay. A darker orange is I'm going to want all these different colors coming in here, right? So again, I can start layering in a little bit of orange. You know, go light with the brush. Don't go super heavy with the paint. Go light. Darker orange on the right side, right? Darker oranges on the right side here. Be sure to go low enough. Remember, we're going to go across eventually, but be sure to go low enough so that the color goes pretty far down, meaning about 3/4 down, right? See, you got the oranges in there starting to come alive. This blue spot here is a little heavy, so I can blend it. See how that's coming alive? Pretty cool. Now, what happens when I add more yellow to this color that I've already made? Remember, rinse off my brush a little bit more. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow into that red orange. I'm going to get a really, really light orange. Really light orange. This is great in the center. This is really, really great to focus a little bit in the center and start putting some of that light in there. Right? Great in the center. And right next to that other orange. Like really, really cool. And I'm brushing all the way through it, but I did focus on putting a little bit more light into the center. See that? All right. There's a little bit of like purple here that's a little bit heavier. I don't love. Okay. I can turn down the ring light a little bit. It's a little glary, so you guys can see the colors there, right? Isn't that cool? The blend is really, really cool, and that's what you want. You want that beautiful, really nice blend. All right. Nice. See that light orange that I have, you guys? That light orange, I'd love to add a little bit of white to that. Really get a nice light orange. What would I do with that? Really mix it in, all those colors in there. So it's nice and light orange, right? What would I do? Let's focus on the center again. Let's focus on the center. Go light with the paint. Go light, right? And focusing in the center, really like getting that light in there. Right? Got some nice light in the center. Remember, we're going to be going across this. Okay, so don't worry too much about it. Just make sure you go far enough down. Right? Far enough down. Cool. So I have some nice light in my center. I'm liking that. That's looking really, really nice. Now, where do I want to put some of the darker colors? I want a darker color on the far left side and a little bit of a darker color. I kind of have a darker color already on this side already. And this side to me already looks like it's a little bit darker too. So I'm liking it. I'm liking the colors that I have. I'm feeling like it's a really cool blend. This one's a little bit dark. See, I just took a little bit of that orange and went over it. Now it's nice and washed. It has that like really dreamy effect. That's what you want, that really nice dreamy effect, like it's washed, like it's raining all these beautiful colors. Cool. I hope you guys are enjoying this part. It's really, really, really super fun. I really like it. And then we're just gonna whitewash 3/4 of the way down. We're gonna create our horizon line. And we're gonna whitewash that. Put a little bit more light, just add a little bit more light in the center just to make it pop a little bit more, okay? Remember, if your colors get too dark and you don't like them, add a little bit of white. Add a little bit of that light orange. You can lighten it all up. Get some really, really pretty colors, okay? All right. Rinsing off my brush. I'm still with my big brush, you guys. I'm just gonna take a little bit of white right now. Just take a little bit of white and I'm gonna create that horizon line, 3/4 of the way down. Just gonna take a little bit of white and I'm just gonna go across here with that white. Right? That's all I'm doing. I'm gonna take it. It should be blending in with some of the other colors, and if it's not, don't worry about it. It's okay. Yours might be like really, really dry. Try to get that horizon line pretty nice and straight, right? So it's looking like that, right? Okay. Just gonna take a little more white. I'm just gonna do the white first. Just to get all the color laid down. I'm going to do just the bottom here. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing, you guys. We're going to do the same thing that we did at the top. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to layer in colors. We're going to layer in colors. And I'm just raising the horizon line just a little bit so that it's even, okay? Now it's pretty even. Okay? And that was just with white. And you've got some other colors bleeding through underneath. That's totally cool. That's fine. But look at that background. That's neat. That's what you want. You want that cool background. And I'm going to take some purples, and I'm going to take, you know, the white with the purple. You've already got white in the painting, so it's probably going to be fine. Take some purples, some oranges, some red purple, and just swipe through there. Okay? So I've got my purple, got my blue, and my red, right? This is going to be really, really dark. So I don't want to go too heavy with it, just really kind of light. It's going to mix in with a little bit of your white. But when I go light, you guys, it's not oversaturated, meaning I just get little chunks, little pieces. That's what you want, those little pieces right there. That's it. And I add more red to that. If I add more red to that purple, right? I add more red to that, and I start wiping that in. And again, it's a totally different color, and it's going to list as a totally different color too. I'm going to leave a little bit of that white border so that the white pops, so that we can make sure that we can see it. You've got that nice red purple, right? Isn't that cool? All right. Delicieux, c'est délicieux. I love it. Really, really nice. Rinsing off my brush. Let's do some oranges, right? Let's brush some oranges in there. Red and yellow, right? Add more yellow because it gets really kind of dark, right? Add more yellow. Let's brush some of that in. Oh, it looks cool. Yeah, right? Got some oranges in there. So you got some really nice reflection going on. It's really, really cool. And again, in the master painting, you have a lot more white. And we'll add some white in there. But right now we're just layering in some color. Layering in some color. And that looks good for now. That looks nice. All right. I still want to add a little bit of light. I still want to add a little bit of light in the center. Just a little bit more. So I have that light orange. I have that orange I just mixed. Add a little bit of white to it. Add a little bit of white to that orange you just mixed. Add a little bit more because you really want it light. And just put a little bit of light. Go really, really light with the brush. Pressure matters, right? Pressure matters. Just put a little bit of light right in that center part. Put a little bit into the horizon line too, on the bottom. A little bit of that color that you just mixed. So now I've got some really nice light in the center there of where those people are going to go, right? That silhouette. Looking cool. Looking cool. All right. Now let's add some more white. Let's add some more white into this horizon line. The white just makes it look like it's shiny, you know, from the rain. So I'm just going to add a little bit more white in here. White just gives it that texture of like, oh, it's wet, you know. Right? Just adding a little bit more white in there. I've got some white in here. I want to add a little bit more white on the other side too. And if you get too much white, you can always blend your original color back in, some oranges or lavenders, right? And it'll get rid of that white. But, you know, I like a little white, especially on the edges. On the edges and I just bring it across, right? On the edges and just bring it across here. Right? On the edges here and then I just bring it across. See how it blends in with the other colors though, right? Now that's looking pretty dreamy, looking nice and watery and wet. It's really cool, the reflection is really nice, right? Looks a little bit like a street, but it's much dreamier. You know, it's much dreamier. Now where you have your edges, like here, on the left side it's a little bit darker, so I can add some purples onto the edges just so that some of the reflection coming down matches what's going on underneath. All right. There is a fruit fly in my wine. Let me get him. I gotta get him. You do not belong in my wine, Mr. Fruit Fly. I do not want to eat you. I had my protein already. I had soup. I don't need you. Alright. The fruit flies are terrible this time of year. It's like, my God. I went to pick up my wine and there were like two sitting on the ledge like they were already drunk. They're like, I'm going to start charging the fruit flies rent. Alright. Are you guys doing good? Yeah? So far so good? Right. I don't see a lot of questions, so I'm assuming everybody is fantastique. Huh? Yes. Fantastique. Alright. So, when I'm going to layer in some darker colors based on what I have going on above, I'm going to use my small round brush because I don't want tons and tons of color, right? I just want a little bit, okay? I just want a little bit. So like on this left side, I have a lot more purple, right? I have a lot more purple. So I can take blue and red. And I'm going to add more red in there just because it gets, you know, the blue is really dominant, okay? And I can take that right on the edges, you guys. I can take that right in here, right? Put in some purple. Just so the reflection, you know, makes a little bit more sense, right? That reflection is a little bit darker, right? See that? And I'm going to blend that a little bit better, but so you guys can see that. All right. And I can take that and I can blend it in with my other colors here, right? Blending means I'm just stretching it across so I don't have these striations of color just like sitting there. Again, the other side too, I have a lot more like a darker color on the other side. So I'm going to put a little bit there. Right? And then in the center, I have my lighter colors, my oranges and stuff. So let's put that in. Let's put our lighter colors in the center. So I got the left and the right, right? See those darker colors in there? Now in the center, I'm going to put some light. Don't forget when we put our silhouette in, you guys, that shadow is going to take up a lot of the color too. And we can add, we're going to add some white, you know, at the end. All right. Cool. We could have had it all. All right, again with my small round, I'm rinsing off in my water, the water that I'm not drinking out of. Okay. I'm going to make a very light orange, lots of yellow, just a touch of red. And I'm going to add white to that. Get this really nice light orange, right? Nice light orange. And I can put some of that in the center, right? Put some of that right in the center. We could have had it all. oranges in there? Nice and light in there, like there are your oranges right in there. Okay. All right. See the oranges in there? So now you've got a nice reflective surface. That's going to be really cool. All right. Awesome. Remember, we're going to add some more white and other things. Once we put the silhouette in, 2 silhouettes, we're going to do some, shadow going down, and then we'll add some white in between that to make it look like it's really blurry and dreamy and cool. All right. All right, you guys doing good? Yeah? All right. So, let's talk about the silhouette, okay? I'd like to do the umbrella first. That's the first thing I like to do is the umbrella. I like to do this first, right? I'm going to do it tilted so I know where I am. And I'm going to do him first. Look at how simple they are. They're merged together. It's basically just 2 round circles at the top merged together. He's straight down. She's got a little bit of a round here and a swoop to her dress. What really sets her off is the different color of the gray skirt. Kind of sets her off a little bit more. Okay. So we do the umbrella first. And I'm going to go a little bit higher than this. If you'll notice on this, right, the master, and this one, right, you can see that my horizon line's a little bit higher on this one. It's a little bit higher, right? You can see that. So I'm going to raise my umbrella up just a little bit than I did on the master to make sure that, the bodies, can touch. We can always raise the horizon line. We can always raise it so, like, if you go really high and you start elongating the silhouettes and they're too long and you want to stop at a certain point, you can raise your horizon line up, okay? And that'll work too. All right, so I'm going to start with the umbrella first. I'm going to use my detail brush. And I'm going to go in with a dark red, meaning that I'm going to mix red with a little itsy bitsy teeny weeny bit of black to get a really dark red, okay? And I'm going to do the whole umbrella. I have little curves in it. So all I do is I go round like this. I go round like this, round like this, and then I go boom. I'm going to do it in front of you so you guys can see. But you want to get that red black. So red, just a little tinge of black. And it gets too dark, so take some red and just go off to the side. Don't mix directly into it. Just take some red and go off to the side down here, and you get a really beautiful, rich red. That's a little bit of red with black. Okay. All right, here we are. The umbrella. So we're going to round it here. I'm going to start right about here. That's big enough, right? And then you can always go up, always build up with the umbrella, which is nice. Always build up, right? And I can come down, do a couple little loops. 1, 2, 3, and then just fill it in. That's it. And I'll fill it in. And I'm going to do some highlights on the top afterwards so that it looks like it's wet and it's raining on it. You want to make sure that it's wide enough, so I like to really make those tips really sharp and pointy at the ends. just on the ends. Just to elongate it, it's a nice size. See how I made the points, like right in the ends here? Cool, and then what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to just layer in a little bit of white in a couple of spaces on the top just to give it some highlights. I want to keep the dark here. I want to keep this red. I want to keep this nice and dark. So I'm going to layer in most of the highlights up here above. Okay. Now I don't have to rinse out my brush. I can just go right into the white. And also I'd like to make like just a little tip here. And then I can just put a little bit of white coming down. Not everywhere, right? So start here. It'll start to blend in. It'll start to blend in with your red, which is cool. And that's what you want. So some of it's brighter and some of it's not, because it's blended in with your color. That looks cool. And that's what a wet umbrella would look like. You know, and again, more at the tip here. So I'm going to put a little bit more white right at the top. Right here. I like in the center just to have a little bit more white just in the center. That's it. And here I've missed a spot here right at the edge. There we go. I've got that nice red at the bottom though. I want to keep that. I want to keep that. All right? Now it's okay with the umbrella shape, you know, if it gets a little more elongated or a little bit bigger, that's okay too. I mean, you've got two people fitting under there, so, you know, it's okay. All right, cool. So forget on the umbrella, you guys, right? That little tip at the top in white makes a little bit of a difference. Makes a little bit of a difference, I think. And I'm going to do the silhouettes. I'm going to do the silhouettes in front of you. Remember now, you can raise your horizon line, but not really necessary because you can elongate them, you know, further down into here if you want. So you have a lot of room to be able to alter things based on the length of what you want. Okay. So this is all going to be done with my detail brush, right? Let's take a sip. Let's take a sip of our libation of choice. Everybody gets nervous when we do the silhouettes, and there's nothing to be nervous about. It's acrylic. You wanted to, you could take a wet paper towel and you could wipe them away, and you know. Sometimes what people do, you guys, they do them in a color of their background. So a lot of people, let's say they had some fear, which, you know, you shouldn't have fear, you should be enjoying, but let's say you have a little fear. Okay? You could go in orange and put him in an orange. If you didn't like him, you could just blend him as part of the background. It would work out great. And then, once you have him the way you want him, you could let him dry and you could fill him in a silhouette in black. And same with the woman. That's a really nice trick that you can do, is to go in a lighter color that's in the center, do them in a lighter color first, let them dry, and then go in black. I am fearless, so I'm going directly to my black. All right, here we go. My detail brush. And I'm going to do this in front of you. I'm going to just lift the canvas. I'm going into my black. I'm just going to make a little round circle. Right? I'm looking over here so I can see. And make a little round circle right here. Put them right in here. You know, he has a little bit of a neck, so you know I don't want to go too, you know, round there. And then he's got a little bit of a shoulder, and he just comes down. He dips a little bit in, and he's got like his pant leg. Comes down. You know, at the tip, I like to just put a little bit of black, just like at the tip, like, you know, where his shoe might be. Fancy. It's getting there. It's getting there. Okay? And you can fill him in a little bit. He's got like, he's got a little bit of a shoulder on the other side here, and then down. Right? Very impressionist. Nothing really final because her head's going to be next to his, and then the rest of her, she's going to lean into him. And she's going to fill out the rest of his body. Okay? She's going to lean into him. See how she leans into him? And she takes up the rest of his body. So that's why he looks kind of thin there. Okay? Right. I'm going to go into my black. And I'm going to do her head just tilted towards his, right? Do her head. She's just a little bit tilted, like she's almost like just leaning into him a little bit. And then it's like rounded and it swerves in and her dress comes out like this. Boom. And I'm going to fill all that in. All that. So he becomes her. They become one. Okay? I'm going to fill all that in. They become one together.
Tell her a story. Tell her the honest truth.
And then her dress comes down. And it really takes up, you know, the whole thing here. See the silhouette there? Right? And I can round her head just a little bit.
When she says she loves you, tell her you love her too.
All right. Okay. So let's continue filling in, right? Let's continue filling in. Gotta make sure his pan is like done here.
Give her a reason to love all you do. She'll tell you secrets, you'll tell her secrets too.
Under the umbrella there.
She'll tell you all her hopes and dreams, you'll tell them too. When she says she loves you, tell her you love her too.
Right? Now the thing that's going to make this pop more than it already does is, one, we're going to add a little bit of her feet. We're going to do that. But first, let's add a little bit of some white to her dress. A little bit of white to her dress, just so we can see where her fabric is into him, right? So her fabric is actually here. So that's like his pant leg. So we can see where this is like flowing, where it's going. Where it's flowing, where it's going. Right? So you you can see how she's much, you know, very much pushed against him. Now, you can have a little bit, like if you feel like he's too thin, you know, like here, too much of her dress here. You know, black is really dominant, so I can just widen, you know, his pant leg. But you can feel a sense that like they have their arm around each other. It's very, very cool. Okay. And as far as legs go, you know, just very impressionist, just like one, like here, just very close to each other. We're gonna do some stuff in here later on. Very impressionist, very, very impressionist. Just a little something, you know, kind of close together. You know, very, very impressionist. We're gonna be putting highlights, shadow stuff underneath, right? So it's not like super, super important, you know, what's going on here with the legs right now. And this is where I can adjust the height and things too. So like, I feel like he's too tall, I can cut him off here and do the highlights, shadows here. So I can cut him off here. I'll show you what I mean by cut him off here. Watch. Watch, watch, watch. So he's pretty long, pretty tall there, right? So I'm going to cut him off right about here. This is where I want a bit of her shoe there. And then I can take this and go down. See how I just shortened him? Right? And now I want to elongate the coat coming down so that we can see that the coat is actually longer here and that the pant is actually shorter, because right now the pant looks really, really long. Okay? See how the pant looks longer? So if I elongate here, the sense of the coat coming down, like look like at the edge of the coat, what a difference that makes with this pant leg and everything. Just having a little bit of that coat hanging off to the side, right? That makes a huge, huge difference. And now I can take this and I can fill that in for like the rest of his pant leg. See how that's looking? All right. It's really just adjusting things to your eye and what your eye enjoys. And again, it looked like his, you know, it looked like his legs were like super, super long. And again, like here, like he doesn't have much shoulder. You know, like it's pretty thin in here. So, you know, I can widen his shoulder a little bit. Come down a little bit. Right? So it's just adjusting things, tweaking things a little bit so that you enjoy them. And it's all about what your eye enjoys, right? There you go. Now we need to do some shadows, some silhouettes and stuff down below. So right where her feet are too, you guys, take a little bit of black. Right? Right where her feet are too, I can take a little bit of black. See where her dress is? A little bit of black. Just some swirls, right? Notice how I skipped some spaces there. Isn't that cool? But that black base, those dots that I did at the black base, simulates where her shoes are, where she's standing. So you can see that she's moving forward and they're just enjoying the rain together. Very romantic setting. What's cool is in between that black, we can put some white in there to make it look like it's shiny and shimmering, right? But we don't really have the umbrella in here yet. We really don't have the umbrella in here yet, you guys. I'd love to see some red highlight of the umbrella down here too. So let's do that. Let's get some of the umbrella down there. So you guys comfortable with the silhouette? You see what's going on there, right? I elongated his coat, right? The dress. She's tilted into him. She's a bit more curvy. Her back's a bit more curvy. Very impressionist, very French. French impressionist. It's my favorite thing to do. I love painting French impressionist paintings. It's very, very fun. You want to be really loose with the brush strokes, you know, toward the end there. You want to be really, really loose. Let me turn this. I feel like I'm glowing a little bit still. A little bit bright. Okay, that's better. The sun's went down, and yeah, it's getting darker earlier. Pretty soon it'll be dark at this time. All right. You guys have any questions, let me know. All right, let me know. Yeah, I did that in front of you too. Hopefully when you have it steady and on an easel or whatever, it'll be even easier for you to do that. All right. So, I'd like to get some of the umbrella in there as a reflection. So I have my small round. In your eyes. Small round, right? Now that color, it's like a pink. It's like a pink. So it's a red and a little bit of white. You know, you got a pink in there. And we just want a little bit, we want a little piece of that umbrella in here. There's a couple little pieces. Just really light. There's your pinks in there. Now we've got a little bit of the umbrella kind of coming down there, right? It's cool. Now I talked earlier about putting in some highlights of white in between what we've done here. Again with the small round. I'm going to put a little bit of white, especially like at their feet too. At their feet, you want it to look like rain and like a little bit of a puddle, right? So I've got some white in here, like in between, like right where their feet are. See, I'm going really, really light in here. See how that's really giving that rainy effect, right? And I can go out here, put a little bit more. You can go in between those black lines, in between. Just going really, really light. What a difference that makes, right? What a difference that little bit of white in there makes. It's really cool. All right, I'm going to continue putting a little bit of white in there on both sides. Both sides. I want it just to look a little bit wetter, rainier, right? Going really light. Wow. Okay. How about a little bit more here? Right? There we go. There we go. Turn this down a little bit so you can see the colors. See the pink on the bottom there? There we have it. Right? There we have it. Now if you wanted, if you wanted to tweak it now at this point and like add a little bit more, texture, color, for instance, like mine's pretty flat, it's got some color, I like it, but like this one has a little bit more texture, a little bit darker contrast on the left side, and it'll make this pop a little bit more too. So I could take my small brush. I'll just give you an example of what it looks like. I could take my small round brush and I could make some purple again. Remember, a lot more red, right? I can make some purple again and I could go in here, right? And create a little bit more contrast. Just at the edge. Like, kind of give it some folds like in the sky. See? So that's how you can alter it a little bit. I can do the same thing, you know, on this side and make it a little bit darker, right? Just put some folds in there. So you see how you can change that. I can also here, you know, add in, you know, some darker color, you know, right over that white too. So lots you can do to play around with it to get it the way you want to. The important thing is that you have that nice shadow of black with the white in between there, so it looks like they're stepping, you know, in the rain. And there you go. Romance in the rain. Voila. There are the two right there. And every time you paint, you guys, it will always be a little bit different. You will always express yourself a little bit differently. It will never be exactly the same. And that's cool. That's the way you want it because you're a unique being and no one's like you, right? You don't want to be like the same thing every time. The thing is, I could have 1 million people in a room doing a painting, and out of 1 million people, not one painting will be identical to another person. Because you're you. You're special. There's no one like you in the world. This is a gift. And if you feel bad about yourself or you're having a bad day, realize that you're the only one on the planet that's like you. That is a really beautiful gift. All right, so I'm going to leave you with that, you guys. Again, every Tuesday, we do a free virtual event. We do have paid virtual events. They're on Zoom. They're $10. We're also running a Groupon. I think you can get a Groupon for even $8. The thing about a Zoom room is that I can see your paintings, I can see you painting, and we can interact together almost like at a live event. So where this, I'm doing my thing and you guys are writing comments in, it's very, very different in a Zoom room where I can actually see you painting and I can say like, oh wow, that's really cool, or oh, you went darker on this side or whatever. If you want to lighten it up, you give suggestions, people show their paintings and they discuss things that they'd like to fix or change. So it's a little bit different, a lot more interactive, and very much worth $8. And we have a supply link on our website. Go all the way down to the bottom, it says get your paint kit here. You can put in the code stir up the paint, and I think the kits are $22.50. You get a canvas, you get a 5-piece brush set, all the paints in glass jars with the branded sticker, and it's very cool. We'd love for you to join us virtually, and if you can't do that, then join me every Tuesday and we'll paint virtually here. I also do a lot of the virtual events, and I have a team of wonderful artists that do some of the virtual events as well. So I hope that you'll join us, join me, and have some more fun together. All right, so I'm going to send you off with the final toast. Oh, I didn't put in, I need to put in my Venmo and my PayPal information, but sometimes people ask me they want to tip me, so I always forget. Venmo is Gregory-Copploe, and PayPal is PayPal. I love the name of it, PayPal. All right, PayPal is gcopploe@gmail.com. All right, cool. So that's Venmo and PayPal if you guys feel so inclined. All right. I hope you enjoyed Romancing in the Rain, and I hope someday you have a little real romance in the rain. I have danced in the rain with a girlfriend of mine, and we simulated the Sound of Music scene in the gazebo at the Bel Air Hotel in black tie, and it started raining. And it was one of the most amazing moments of my life. I wrote a book called The Art of Being Whole, and I usually have it out, but I didn't have it out tonight. And it's in that book. Highly suggest, if you haven't danced in the rain, take a moment and dance in the rain. It is liberating and freeing, and you don't care about getting messed up or what's going to happen to you. It's wonderful. So, big on my list. That's kind of where Romancing in the Rain came from. Is, you know, they're under the umbrella and they're getting wet, and they don't care. It's like it's a beautiful moment that will be, you know, indented into their memory, indelible memory forever. All right. So on that note, I toast you guys. Love and light. Don't forget, focus on doing an act of kindness. Tomorrow, maybe you can do one every day. It really makes a difference in people's lives. And even after COVID, you know, it's just a good idea to be a nice beacon of light on the planet and share some love, because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. Strip it all away and strip away all of the stuff and all of everything that we've accumulated, and all you have left is what's in here. Salud. Have a good night, everyone. Nighty night.